I'm here in San Antonio for NAREIT's REITwise, our 2019 Law, Accounting, and Finance Conference. Joining me today is Pamela Lipp-Hendricks, Head of Executive Talent Management and Diversity with JPMorgan Chase. Pamela, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you have a big job in terms of monitoring the differences of a wide range of generations at JPMorgan Chase. Can you explain some of the significant differences in the wants between Gen Xers versus millennials?
Sure. And I want to start by saying that even though I'll give you some differences, really the way that we look at it is people should be treated as individuals. So not everybody is going to act just like we might say that they're Generation X. Gen X is the generation that works to live. So work is not their top priority. They are coming to work. They really like independence. If you think about Gen Xers, they were the generation of latchkey kids. They had to come home by themselves. They had to open the door and put themselves inside. They had to solve a lot of problems, so they're resourceful. So they really like independence. They don't like to be micromanaged. They like to be told, go figure it out. And so when you work with them, you want to make sure that you're giving them enough freedom in what they're doing. And as managers, they have to be aware to make sure that they're thinking about the generations around them, because not everybody likes to go figure it out. And then when you think about the millennials, they're the generation that likes to work to make an impact. They like to learn and they like to contribute. If you think about how they grow up, or how they grew up, one of the hallmarks that we might say today is they're the entitled generation. They're the generation that had trophies for participating. But what that means is they have really good self-confidence and self-esteem. That's what that was trying to build. And they want to learn things. They're really interested in learning. They're very curious. They just want to be told sometimes how, and they want feedback in how it's done. So if you think about the difference between those millennials and the Gen Xers, the Gen Xers are saying, okay, just let me figure it out. And the millennials are saying, I really want to learn, but show me, teach me, give me feedback, help me learn faster. So we just want to make sure that we're balancing those and just being aware of them.
Now, my guess is that JPMorgan Chase workforce still includes a good percentage of baby boomers. What's the driving force behind this demographic and their wants as employees?
Sure. Baby boomers really are the generation that lives to work. So work is a really big primary part of their identity. And they're also a very optimistic generation. If you think about it, they grew up during the civil rights era, they grew up during Vietnam. So they're very optimistic that when you get a group of people together, change can happen. And so they like face-to-face meetings, they like pulling people together. And as you think about that with different generations, you know, Gen Xers prefer email, and millennials prefer social media and texting. So coming face-to-face to solve problems constantly can seem bureaucratic to other generations, where it's just a very natural process for baby boomers. But their optimism and their ability to organize things and drive things through also makes them hierarchical. So they appreciate hierarchy, they appreciate going through the chain of command, which is also different from other generations. But it's not everybody. I think that people are flexible and people learn different ways to lead as they get more senior in organizations.
And lastly, you're also responsible for diversity and inclusion. Can you identify one or two major issues in this area and how your company's tackled them?
Sure. The biggest thing that we're working on is really how to create an inclusive environment. And that is really something that all of us can do every day, whether you're a manager and a leader or whether you're an individual contributor. You can come in every day and make your organization feel like a place where other people want to work. Are you going to coffee with the same people every day? Are you going to lunch with the same people? Are you looking around and saying, wow, I don't know that person, or maybe I've not had them in my network, so maybe I'm going to take a chance to learn about them today. And what we're trying to say to people is, you know, when you look at someone, you're immediately going to make a judgment about them based on what their demographics are. But how do you take that next step to get to know someone personally on a human level? Because you really might have more in common with them than you have differences. And so we're trying to get people to see that every day, whether it's through campaigns that we have or whether it's through our management and leadership training. That's what we're really working on, is that inclusive environment.
Pamela, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
For more information on this and other real estate news and analysis, be sure to visit NAREIT's website, REIT.com.